Hi, it's your girl Kristian from.
Hi, I'm Blaine, host of Live with Blaine J, a podcast that airs right here on Realish Radio. Every week, I connect you to all the people, brands, and businesses you need to know about. I'm gearing up for season 2, and I can't wait to talk to you. So keep your notifications locked right here to Realish Radio.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Transparency Place. Tonight, it's exciting. It's date night. I got my hubby with me.
What's going on, everybody?
I also brought some friends along. They're going to introduce themselves in a minute, but we're excited this evening to talk about love, marriage, children, the pursuit, all those good things, all those great things. So bring them on the camera, producer, and allow them to introduce yourself. We'll start with you first.
Hi, everyone. I am Demia.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris. And you said introduce ourselves.
How long have you been married?
Yeah, see, I messed that all up.
Okay, how long have you been married?
It will be 6 years coming up this New Year's Eve. Yep.
Jessica and Ahmad.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ahmad. This is Jessica. And this is Cairo, our baby boy. He wanted to join this evening as well. And we have been married for just over 10 years.
We have been married for 10 years.
I'm sorry. We've been together for 10 years.
Damn.
So 5 years. My bad. Well, we've been together for 10 years, though.
In January, it'll be 6 years for us. So we right behind Chris and Demia.
Yep.
I didn't realize you all were that close. Well, we're David and Kristian. And how long have we been married?
A year and 2 weeks.
Babies.
Oh, you had to go get detail.
Yeah.
So we are new to the millennial marriage. We're considered millennial marriages, right, you all?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I want to get into it. A lot of people want to be married, but there is a journey, I think, in getting married, right? And there's a pursuit in getting your woman or getting your guy. So I'm going to pass the mic back down to Demia and Chris. Can you tell us a little bit about the pursuit? How did you all make it here?
Oh, me? All right. Well, let me see. Let me take you back to, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, when we started, I met her, Demia, through you, KP, and a couple of your roommates and some friends that we had in common. And I saw you guys putting, like, we were at college. I was putting like groceries and stuff like that away or whatever. And I was like, let me go help. And then I kind of introduced myself and I was like, man, she seemed really nice. So after that, I kept coming back. And then I was like, I saw she worked on campus at the art spot. And so like, I was just kind of go and chill till she got off. They had like a little TV. So it was like set up for me. Nap spot, all that. So yeah, I'll be in there for like a couple hours, just kind of chilling, waiting until she got off. But yeah, I mean that's kind of creeping. No, that's kind of how I got my introduction. You know what I mean? So
were you consistently pursuing, or you was just like, what was you doing?
Yeah. Like I was, yeah. I mean, I knew I liked her. And, figured she liked me too. So,
how did you know she liked you too?
Because she talked to me. Right? You don't talk to people you don't like, right? Right. And I can make her laugh. So, and I'm corny. Like my jokes is I'm whack. So if I can make her laugh, then I knew it was all good.
So who was the pursuer, Jessica and Ahmad, in your relationship? Who got this party started?
Look, you want to tell the story or you want me to tell the story?
You can tell the story. Just make sure you tell the right story.
I'm going to tell the right story.
Don't be leaving stuff out.
I'm going to go all the way back. So
okay, you can leave some of the stuff out.
You tell the story.
No. You tell the story.
All right, so we first met. We both went to Western Michigan University. We first met because we were in the computer lab. She used to work at the computer lab. I was actually with my ex-girlfriend at the time on the last leg of our relationship. She introduced us to each other. Now they weren't that close, but they knew each other. in passing, and I think that y'all had some mutual friends too. So I saw her, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. I like what I like what I see." So then I proceeded, to complete that other relationship, and then I asked somebody that I knew her, like, who's this person? Give me more information. So I found out, and I think once I had that conversation with him, she had already left Michigan to do the Disney program down in Florida. So came across her profile on Facebook, slid in them DMs real quick. And then we was going back and forth, via conversation with the chat for the whole time you were down there? Like, I think it was like 7 months.
Yeah.
And then she came back. So that was
it was like the
2010.
summertime.
Yeah, summer of 2010. So fast forward to
I came back in
spring.
January.
She came back in January to Michigan. Fast forward to the spring. So April of 2011, I was out at the bar. She was out at the bar.
I just turned 21.
I called her eye, and she was like, "Ooh, I remember you from my DMs." Came over, we had a couple, we had a few words, and then we exchanged numbers, and we honestly, we haven't spent a day apart ever since then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Beautiful.
She wrote.
Beautiful. Who was the pursuer over here?
Go ahead.
Tell your story.
All right, so no, the real story is
The real story.
how she caught my eye it was orientation for Saginaw Valley. We went to the same college. It was Saginaw Valley. So I come out. My mom is talking to her mom. So at the time, I didn't know it was her mom. So I'm like, my mom out here making friends. You don't know this lady. Like, all right. So I walk up. Chris hasn't came out yet. They hadn't came out their orientation room yet. So they talking. They like, oh, yeah. I'm like, all right, here we go. So my mom like, yeah, you got to look out for her daughter, blah, blah, blah. Y'all from the same, you know what I'm saying? Y'all from the same way. Y'all from, this is my best friend from high school, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. My mama see it in my face like, all right. So then she walk out of orientation. And I'm like, damn. I was like, this is brother. So Jack punches me like, don't be talking about my daughter like that. I'm like, oh yeah, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm gonna take care of it. Don't you know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to worry about. So then, yeah, like you ain't got nothing to worry about. So then Chris made it hard. She, you know what I'm saying? She wouldn't give me no play. It was cool, And then as the years went on, we just started getting closer and closer. And then I think what really solidified it was I got into a car accident. I got into the bad car accident in 2013. And when I woke up, she was by my bed. So I was like, all right, it ain't too many, because the person I was dealing with at the time wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? So, and we wasn't even talking for real at the time. I think we had got into it because
that's what we do.
Yeah, we was best friends before we got together. Like we would tell each other everything, what's going on with each other's situations.
So you gotta watch them best friends. I see what you saying.
Yeah, I'm saying? So we was telling each other what was all going on and everything. And then when I woke up, I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, all right, that's real. Because we hadn't been talking at the time when I got into the car accident. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's real. And then, can I tell them about the dream?
Who dream? You can dream. What's my dream?
All right, I ain't gonna tell you.
You know the dream.
It's a transparency plan, so I don't hold anything back. So what's the dream? That I came back home and got married?
That I was married. You said I was married. And I had a kid.
Oh, well, you married and got a kid now, so dream come true.
Yeah. So, long story short, we had a long, deep conversation one time, one night. I made her come pick me up from one of my parties that I was promoting. And we had this long talk all the way back.
It wasn't a long talk. He snapped on me and told me his true feelings.
Yeah. I was like, either today or never.
Ooh, ultimatums.
Yes, sir.
Right. Kinda.
I think he just put all the cards on the table. Like,
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
bear the heart, you know.
What's up? All trust.
And it was a lot that I didn't know that came out in that conversation. So did anything happen like that for you all that triggered the building of your relationship?
I think that for me, like, I don't know about for him, but I think that for me, like everybody that I dated before Ahmad, there was just something about them that was just like, no. And when I dated him, like he said, like once we went on our first date, we literally spent every day together. And it was just different. Like it was just different. And I always tell people, because people ask me, how did I know that he was the one? He used to rub my feet and cook for me. And I was like, yeah. And we spent every day together. And I would say it was a romantic friendship, because it definitely wasn't like, oh, we just best friends. Yeah. But it was a friendship. Like we had an attraction to each other, but like we could have easy conversations. It was just different.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree too. Like, I think that the feeling of going into our relationship and the conversations that we had, what happened? The conversations that we had prior to actually getting together, I hadn't really had those conversations with other people before, because I had been through some stuff. I know she had been through some stuff, and we both came to an agreement like, hey, let's just do this and do it the right way and see how it works out. You know what I'm saying? And we did, and everything worked out.
I'm going to come back to that. Let's do this and let's do it the right way. Jamia, Jessica answered a question that I had in my mind. How did you know that this was the one?
So, throughout the years, with Chris, pretty much stalking me and not going anywhere, I was able to really get a connection and learn a lot about him, as well as we were able to kind of do different things on our own, like spiritual wise together. Usually, it's just something that is somebody just trying to do for themselves. Like Chris was legit trying to find out who he was. And so that was really eye-opening to me, as well as appreciated. And it really helped us come together to help one another out, to be able to grow in that perspective.
Awesome. All right, Jessica lost the mod for a minute, so I guess I can answer the question. How did I know this person next to me? What really affirmed that David was the one for me was the day that after y'all got married, actually, at your wedding. The next day I had spent the day with him, and then we went to church or whatever. And after church, we were going to his grandparents' house. I was a little confused and lost, but he went in and got food for his grandparents and took it to his grandparents' house while he was in the restaurant. Y'all, I called because we had prayed together. That's what it was. We had prayed together. I ain't never did that before, but when we prayed, we was on our knees, so that was a different type of, ooh, Jesus. He got it to my heart right there, Lord. But we had already had a great relationship, a working relationship, and when David did get into that accident, it kind of put into perspective for me, did I want to lose this person? So then I had to reevaluate and put him where he deserved to be. Even after the accident, though, we still kept our friendship. It took a little bit more for us to get into the relationship piece of it. But I knew that in my mind. So then the day he did the dinner stuff, I called my cousin, like, we getting married. I'm marrying him. She thought I was at the courthouse right then and there. But that type of character was the type of person that I knew I wanted to marry. So like praying and then being able to take care of your grandparents, that was a big thing for me. So Ahmad, I'm passing the mic back to you because you said doing this and doing this the right way. What's the right way for you? What does that look like?
I mean, for me, it was actually taking it seriously and starting off on the right foot from the beginning. And with that, it was dropping baggage. We
dropped a lot of baggage.
It was just going into it with the mindset of, hey, if the goal of being in a relationship is one day getting married, let's approach it like that. Let's approach it with all seriousness, as much seriousness as possible. And again, this is where we ended up today.
So if the goal of a serious relationship is marriage, when did that trigger in your mind as a man? Was it when you met her or?
So I mean, I felt like, again, like going into that relationship at that point in time, I was 24 years old. I wanted to start pursuing a very serious relationship with somebody. So I think after going through several relationships where I could have been hurt or I caused hurt to somebody else, at that point in time, I was tired of that. I was tired of going through the same process of starting over and dating somebody else, and having the random chicks that you talk to. Same. I'm pretty sure same for her, having the random guys that she talked to, and it's like, okay, well, let's just try to be serious with this, and let's go into it with that mindset.
So I'm gonna ask you, David, how did you know that you wanted to be married?
Well, one of the things was the accident. When somebody I can't say make you change, but when somebody gives you that feeling of, yeah, you gotta change it, like she said, don't want to lose this person if you don't change your lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, for somebody that can give you that type of inspiration to change, I was like, oh yeah, this the one, because I've never had nobody else speak to me like that, you know what I'm saying, to be like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna get married, you know what I'm saying, I'm done with all this, you know what I'm saying. So that's when I knew. I was like, oh, okay, like, this is a person that really cared for me to tell me, like, yo, you need to change, otherwise the way you heading. And it wasn't like a demeaning way. It was just like, yo, I know you as a friend for all these years. You need to do this for yourself first before we can even move into that realm of being together and being married.
So men that's in this conversation right now, do you think it takes for a woman to come into your life to trigger the thought of marriage or trigger that type of thinking? Or is it something that happens to you personally?
Yeah, I'll start. I think, it could be both, but definitely, like, once you kind of like meet this person that, if you like a mod, you rubbing the feet on the first night and all this other kind of stuff. Like, and it really just kind of puts you probably in a different, you're doing things you probably wouldn't have done before. Right. And then you maybe you stop doing things that you were probably doing before too. So just those kinds of thinking, when you meet that person that helps to add and pour in a lot to you. And I remember for me, it just felt like it was like easy to talk. It was easy to connect. It really, I mean, we had our challenges and all those kinds of things too, but it was really just easy to kind of lay that foundation and again, just be able to connect with each other on lots of different levels.
Yeah, that friendship, as you all have stated, is really, really key into knowing and to accept someone, just to be able to really, really have that friendship has really, really helped us more than anything.
Because I don't just love you as my husband, I love you as my friend. So I look out for you as my friend. Mm-hmm. And then my husband. Is that the way it should be though? Or should I be caring for you at a different level? Because you're my husband. Would you prefer to be my husband first or my friend first? There we go.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, it's not a difference because that's how we started.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm like, if I say it to some people, they would be like, well, that's your husband. You should put your husband before your friend. Like, but I look at him as both,
Yeah, it's a different level. It's like two sides of the same coin.
It's like friend point two. 2.0.
I can tell you that he being my friend has saved him. Like, because if he was just my husband, I might have offed him. Because I love him as my friend. I love bro.
We do not promote domestic violence.
We do not promote domestic violence.
All right, I wouldn't have offed him, but y'all know sometimes.
Can I add to that? I would definitely say friend because, like, there's a lot of people that have the title of like husband and wife, and it's just a title. But I feel like the friendship is really where the bond comes in. So, you know, anybody can have a husband or a wife, but like when they have a friendship to go with the title, I think that just makes the unity between them so much stronger.
I agree with that.
That's real.
Amen. Amen. All right. The question on the table is, how did you know you were ready to take on marriage?
How did you know? We had lived together for 5 years.
Yeah, it was about that time.
So we literally went on a date. We went on a date. I think like less than a year later, we lived together, but we did like a trial. It was like 3 months because his roommate moved out and I needed a place to stay for the summer. So I was like, I moved with you. My mom was not happy about that. I was like, I'll be your roommate, you know, until your lease is up. And so then that was like our trial. And then the next year when he got a place, I was basically there all the time. And then I think the following year, or maybe somewhere in between them, like it was literally like we were living together fast.
We actually moved in together.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I did say that before I got married, I wanted to like be with my partner for some time. And I set a benchmark of like 5 years. I said 5 years, I'm gonna get a chance to know this person. You know, we're gonna go through some ups, go through some downs, we're gonna live together. You know, we're gonna test drive the whole situation before we make it, you know, solidified or whatnot. And that's what we did. And that allowed us to be able to get to know each other on a different level as well. Versus just saying, hey, you know what? I've known her for a year. I like her. Let's go ahead and tie the knot, babe. I wouldn't on that.
Right.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, I really, you know, there are girls who dream about being married, and I definitely was not one of those individuals. Came from a single parent home, and you know, I do have family members that are married, but it just wasn't something that was like top of my goal. Like I must be married at this time. So I don't really know if there was ever a time that I knew that I was ready. With us, we went to the same college. We lived in separate dorms. We moved in together while we were engaged and expecting a baby in like 7 days, you know, from actually moving in together.
Yeah, that's right.
That did happen.
Yeah, like, yeah, it was really interesting, but I really appreciate, you know, those times and those moments and those challenges that we had to face. You know, it kind of just ready to go at that point, you know. It's just like, okay, this is it. We're doing it, you know. That's how it was for me. I'm not sure for you, Chris, if you knew
and it was a couple, like I had like a few of them aha moments, like, oh man, you might want to make your move. But one of them is like, so when I decided to get saved, like it was like you know, for my own choice as an adult. It was like after being with her, were we dating by then?
I think so.
All right, yeah, we might have been dating by then. But yeah, I mean, she just really, you know, was somebody that really just cared about you know, cared about me, my soul, my just life in period, you know what I mean? And so like that just showed me like, you know, this is like probably one of the most caring individuals that I know, way more than I am to this day. But yeah, it was like kind of like, you know, that was just one of the examples where like, man, this is, you know, she's really something special. So I knew I didn't want to go through without her. So.
Oh,
That's that man right there.
Right.
make us all melt. Why don't you? How did you know you were ready?
similar. You know what Amar was saying, like you know, I wanted to move in, make sure that we could actually stand each other, because you can actually, you know, not live with somebody you think you know them until you actually live with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the first step. I was like, okay, cool. We can live together. That's good. Definitely. I mean, of course, number one, like now I finally got her after chasing so long. I'm like, all right, we got.
But we didn't tell the people how long was your chase. How long was your pursuit?
All right, so the real chase, number one. Don't say it like that.
My man went through the desert.
Yeah, at first, I took a hint. I was like, all right, she ain't rocking with me. I'm gonna just play the finger and roll, blah blah. Accident. She started coming around a little bit more. We started going out a little bit more. Everything. So that was what, 13. So that was 13, and then 15. No, 15. The real chase was 15 at Chris and Demia wedding. She snatches my phone and posts a picture and says, "I now have a girlfriend," which I knew nothing about in the morning, because my phone is blowing up at 8 o'clock in the morning talking about congratulations. I didn't know about this other stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So really, the real taste was really from 15 on.
It started in 2008. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No, the real story behind the picture at Demia's wedding.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna have a transparent moment here.
I don't know. Okay. I was with Pops at Demia wedding. No, I don't.
So what happened was, somebody had asked me, "Was he my boyfriend?" And I said, "I don't know." I thought I whispered it.
I remember this.
I remember that too.
How you go from whispering to posting a picture though?
But wait, I'm about to fill a gap.
All right.
Then he came to me and said, "Did you just tell her you don't know if I'm your boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." So I thought he felt some type of way. So to ease his feelings, I took the phone. It was like, I'm gonna do him like this.
You made it official.
And that means a relationship. It was no more blue lines.
So it did become official that day.
Yes, it became official that day.
It became partial official, because I was like,
yeah. So elaborate.
Because she was like, I asked her, because I was like, I thought she was gonna say no. I thought she was gonna say like, no, this is my friend at the wedding. That's why I asked. I'm like,
so we assumed it was bad communication, because I thought you felt something.
I was like, did you say yeah, or did you say you ain't know? And she was like, I said I ain't know. So when she took my phone, I was honestly talking to somebody from our college. I didn't even see the picture until, I'm telling you, like, my phone started blowing up, and I was like, I ain't even post nothing. How the hell?
Where this come from?
Yeah, where am I getting all these likes from? All these congrats, all these that's what's up. Like,
well, now you married.
I'm married.
Hey.
Man, I wasn't taking nobody serious at that time anyway, so it was just like,
well, good thing you were.
Right, yeah, I was like,
they broke up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just like, man, I'm like, oh, my phone blowing up. I'm like, all right. So when I looked on there, she was at y'all was back dancing and everything. I'm like, yo, this for real? And she was like, and walked off. So I was like, all right, I'll just play it for what it, play it for what it's worth.
Let's roll with it.
And then
it worked out in his favor.
Yeah, it's working out.
Hey, that's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
So the question at hand, before I had to tell the truth, I had to tell my story, was how did you know you were ready for marriage? Did you answer that, or you want me to answer it?
You can answer.
I didn't know. I still don't know. I take it one day. There was no preparation.
That was the truth.
Yeah, like it was like, but I knew it was something I desired. So I think for me, that's the way life goes. I just take it as it comes. I learn and I build from that. I don't think there was anything that told me that I was really ready. I just knew I had the desire. I had the desire for it,
Yeah.
So I guess now that I'm sitting here saying it, my question is, why did I have that desire? Why did you want to get married?
Are you asking?
I'm asking. Why did you want to get
married?
married?
I know for me, I wanted to get married kind of like what Jamia said, but the opposite. Kind of. So I grew up in a single parent household, and seen a ton of failed relationships, marriages that were secretly failing. I've seen a couple successful ones, but there weren't that many. And I just always wanted children, for one. And I wanted the children with a husband. And then I wanted a family that was like functional. So I always had the desire, because I wanted those children, I always wanted to be a mom. I didn't want to do it by myself. And I knew that for that to happen, the logical thing is to have a husband. And I wanted somebody that would want to be a father, want to be involved. So when I was looking for partners, it was easy for me to reject people, because that's a goal that I had from being a child. Like, I just knew that, okay, you, like, I know it sounds crazy, but I would be dating a person, I'd be like, you would not be a good husband. Like, I dated to get married. And so when I dated him, I was a nanny, so I was like, cool, you are good with my little nanny kids. Okay. Like, you'll make a good daddy. And you seem like you would be a good husband. Like, okay, like, you meet my dream qualification.
I was going through the trial and I didn't even know it.
She had a checklist.
Right. No, and that's cool. For me, it was like, so my upbringing was the complete opposite from hers. I actually had a 2-parent household, even though my biological father did not end up marrying my mother. They never got married, but my mother did get married to my stepfather, which was an amazing father figure for me. So I had a 2-parent household, which I love to see. I love to see the way they interacted with each other. I love to see, just how the dynamic of the household was. So I always knew, for me, at some point in time in my life, it would end up being that. I just didn't know when. And then I met her, and then we came with our agreement, and it was murder she wrote.
Chris and Demia, why did you want to get married?
Well, I knew just the various things that Chris does. Like, the man cooked in college. I was like,
that's Chris.
Okay. And then in the way that he just, his character is just amazing. And so I was just like, okay, I'll be silly if I let him go by and maybe go somewhere else. But just seeing how he valued his family, his mom, his grandmother, just really, and the way he worked with his nieces and nephews, I was just like, wow. Wow. So I just knew right then and there. I was like, I have to be able to kind of match those two up and be able to be like, okay, I think I'm ready for this.
Yeah. Kind of like what I said earlier, like, this is like probably the most caring person I know. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, outside of that, it was like I said, we had a couple different kinds of experiences. Some that were kind of like, we could have accidents, those kinds of things, like you mentioned, Dave, man. Whereas it's really like, man, like, I really value her and value having a life together. And so it was like, she was checking off all them boxes. And I didn't really know it. So it was just like, all right, yeah, I got to do it. So long story short, like, when I really knew is when I had bought a ring. I think I bought a ring. And then I'd ask her dad.
Chris.
Like, no, I'm saying I can't remember if I bought it before.
Hold on, when I bought it, I think I bought it.
This memory is horrible right now.
No, I'm saying like when I can't remember if I bought the ring first and then asked her dad, or if I. So I asked her dad, and it was like, like it wasn't no turning back after that. I mean, yeah, but still, like it was like really real for me at that point. Like it was like it was intimidating. You know what I mean? To kind of overcome, and it's small, but like to kind of overcome that challenge of asking another man, I would like to marry your daughter. Like it was, I'm getting hot thinking about it. But yeah, so it was not like that. That was when it was like real. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
So why did I want to get married? That's the question on the table. Why did I want to get married? I realized the grass wasn't greener on the other side, and I better just keep watering this grass because the character this man has, I'm not gonna find it anywhere else. Like it was genuinely your character that prompted, you should marry him.
Yeah. Same here. All right. I honestly, like, my family, like, tell her all the time, like, yeah, you really like the first person he ever then brought to like real family functions. Like, bro, because my grandma, rest in peace, she cutting straight. She baby, you not it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I never was bringing people around, even because my grandma be like, yeah, nah, baby. She telling the girl, like, nah, baby, you not it. Yeah, this not it.
She will tell you, don't come back in my house.
Yeah, the same way, man.
I don't care how long y'all stay together.
You don't come back over here.
Don't come back over here.
Yeah.
So, and then one of the first times she actually met my grandma, you know, they was down there kicking it and talking, and I was like, okay, good.
I like her.
Yeah. So, you know, those moments, but once you get around her and she stopped me, because she gonna survey the room first. You know what I'm saying? Chris gonna come be quiet for a second, and then it's like, okay, nah, all right, you cool to talk to, right? And then my sister and them don't like them, but I already knew. I was like, it don't even matter what y'all think, because I already know who I want. Like, and my sister was like, yeah, just from you, how you talking right there alone already let me know she a great person. You know what I'm saying? My sisters don't like nobody. They got my grandma attitude. They don't like nobody either. Nah, you can't separate them. You call them, they together. Like, so no, I knew I was gonna get married. At that point, we had one deep conversation, like I said, in 2015. And I pretty much told her, like, yo, if we're gonna do it right, and we're gonna do it together, you know. And if we not, we're gonna continue to be friends, you know, and go from there. But we were still friends, so it was just like, all right. We left for like 2-3 months, and then we came right back. And I was like, hey, we can't get rid of each other. So
right.
That's number one. We can't get rid of each other. So, but no, I knew once I seen like how she handled, you know, even with Avery, and how she handled children and just the house, like everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chris, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, what you need me to do? Or, all right, I'm behind you. Like, just being supportive, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and like I said, when somebody make you change your life, not in a demeaning way or a mandatory way, like not an ultimatum way, but just like a everyday conversation, make you start thinking when you're not even talking to her, like, yeah, all right, I don't need to be on 7 Mile 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to be on 8 Mile, 7 Mile 24/7. Cool, come, you know, do this, do that. Take your career seriously. You know what I'm saying? I get promoted every once in a while, you know. So stuff like that made me realize, like, all right, yeah, you gotta marry her. You don't marry her, you're gonna be the uncle all the way in family function.
Sure.
At 50 years old with a serious
All right, we're still listening to him. I'm just gonna recap a little bit for our listeners so they'll know where we're at. We're talking about marriage. Why do we want to get married? What triggered our partner, the pursuit of our partner? How do we know that our partner was the one? And a lot of it came from being able to communicate with each other and supporting one another and being on the same page in life. So understanding moving forward, this is what I want. And if it's not what you want, then this is not it for us. So being okay with separating, and even potentially you could come back together when the season is right for both of you to work towards that same goal. I think we pretty much hit on that in our conversation. But a big question, you all, we are millennial married couples, and they don't think we're going to make it. A lot of people write us off from the beginning, right? The divorce rate is high. We're not going to make it. So I'm going to start with this question. And I honestly know the female perspective. So I'm going to start with the males. Is marriage hard?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One word.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't necessarily think marriage is hard. I don't think marriage is hard. I think when people don't communicate, it makes the dynamic of being around somebody hard, whether you're married or not. Because like for us, things didn't really change when we got married. Like a lot of the same things that we talked about before, you know what I'm saying? Like minus the kids, because we didn't have them. But like a lot of the problems that people go through, they can occur outside of you being married. Like we didn't really like have a huge dynamic change in like the things that would come up between us, like the problems that would come up between us. I think it's when people don't commit, communicate, and compromise. That's my 3 C's.
That's his
my 3
C's.
C's. Commitment, communication, compromise. When you don't have those 3 things, whether you're in a marriage or not, things are probably going to go bad. And if you don't vet each other out and make sure that's the person that's for you and y'all on the same page, things probably going to go bad. So no, I don't think marriage is hard. I think it's just dynamics of relationships are hard.
Yeah. You know, let me clarify that too. And like just thinking about like just relationships, you know what I mean? It's a people thing. It's a people business, and and working with people 24/7. Like that one, what was that book? Movie, Breaking All the Rules. Jamie Foxx. Good one. It's like firing people. Like when you have to have those difficult kinds of conversations, all this kind of HR work. it's like that. And like, I mean, kind of just understanding, like Ahmad said, you know, being able to communicate and understanding just the dynamics, what might trigger this person. I mean, you living with each other, you're going to know, or you're going to figure out very quickly what kind of buttons that you could push and not push, and, you know, still be able to sleep peacefully at night. So, like, you know, it's probably, it's some nights I'm gonna probably just sleep on the couch. And we figure it out.
What you doing to him?
Like you always buy a nice couch. You always buy a nice couch.
Be comfortable.
Nothing that you not doing, Kristian.
Okay, Ahmad, I need you to run your 3 C's back for me because I need to put that in my notebook.
Commitment, communication, compromise.
Okay. So, David, is marriage hard?
Year 1, David. What is it? No.
Y'all still in the honeymoon phase, man.
Right.
I mean, from what everybody say, they say year 1 is the hardest. I honestly think it's really just the communication piece, man. Because me, I run at 100 miles a minute. Like I do stuff on the fly, and like whether it's house stuff, whether it's, you know, like finance stuff, I do stuff because I think 100 miles a minute. So I move 100 miles a minute. Like I can do something, think about it, and do it, you know, but then I got to think about my wife. My wife wanna, hey, no, we need to X X, Y, Z, then go all the way back to A, B, C, you know what I'm saying, and make sure everything right. When I'm like, no, we skipping straight from A to I got X, Y, and Z, and it's already done.
That was hard for me too.
Yeah. So now years has a year has gone past. We still have conversations every day. You have to take a step back and realize that it is two people. You know what I'm saying? So, it is two people, we both working. It's not like the old days, because what I'm used to is my grandfathers were always gone, like go to work. You know what I'm saying? Go to work. My grandma was always at home, with the kids. Even though my grandma was a real estate agent, nurse, everything. That's what I saw. So I'm used to, all right, look, I'm about to go make X, Y, and Z happen. But then I'm not thinking like, oh shit, I got to go home. I got to see what she got to do before I come home. So now I'm taking those steps to, all right, go home first.
Yeah.
Come home first, then, access your household, see what's going on. And then hey babe, I got to pop out and do this and that. So we're getting it. It's like you say, it's the communication, it's the compromise, but being actually hard, no, because I wouldn't have got married if I thought I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that happens, we can work through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just you still learning. Like,
for sure. And kind of to piggyback on what you were saying, as far as like coming home first after work, I had that bad. Like I would go to work for 12 hours of the day. I get off work and go straight to the bar and call her like, look, babe, I'm about to pop out with the friends, with the boys real quick. I'll be home at 10, you know what I'm saying? Or 11 or whenever. And she'd be like, okay. And like,
I was home with this child.
And it took for her.
Especially after, it wasn't, well, no, we were married when we had a baby. Like we got married and then the baby was born next month. So yeah, I was home with the baby and I was like, you not gonna go.
It took her to blow up on me for me to be like, oh shit. Like, all right, I'm sorry. Dang. I ain't mean to do it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still learning.
Right, yeah. So I was like,
so Chris, you admit to still learning that too?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's every blue moon. But it's hard. Like we both got different kinds of career paths. Well, sort of, but different types of like jobs, right? So I'm always at some kind of event, networking, whatever, weekends, late nights or late evenings, those kinds of things. And she works from home. And so like just that in itself is can be challenging too. Especially like throughout the pandemic when we were both able to kind of work from home, but just kind of seeing what life was like for her when like in the summer when the kids is out of school and we got 3 of them jokers and they be running around. And so it just add like, and then she still got to work and all that kind of stuff. So it really can start to take a toll on things. And I kind of saw that growing up too, with my parents. I mean, we both lived, I grew up with both my parents being married and whatever for the most part of my upbringing. But my dad worked third shift and my mom worked, like a first or second or something like that. So one to be coming in, the other one to be going out. And, that can be challenging, you know what I mean? And so it's just stuff like that you have to be considerate of and plan to make time for each other too. Scheduling is still important. I'm working on that too, but yeah.
So when you say scheduling, is it more so like letting her know in advance, or what are you hitting on with scheduling? I'm just curious.
Just like scheduling like date nights, time with each other, to be, just to be able to connect, intimacy, all that kind of stuff, especially with, kids and stuff like that. Like, it's important to still maintain all those things, because if you're not, then it's like going to be a whole lot easier to nitpick little stuff that would probably normally not bother you.
So I think because we're moving into the kid area, the question for me is, how did you all define the roles in your household? Because a lot of us come from the traditional background where, like he said, the mom is at home taking care of this and the man is outdoors. But then at the same time, we're not living in that time. So how did you all determine who was taking on what responsibility in your home?
So we actually have more traditional gender roles in our household. But at the same time, I feel like outside of who takes care of the kids and how the income comes into our house, which I stay home, I am with the kids, he works. So that's where those two are mainly taken care of. But as far as like other things that you think about that go on to make a household run, I think that those are subjective and a little bit fluid, because not one person just cooks, not one person just takes out the trash. It's not like, well, you know, you usually do that and you can't do it, so I'll wait. You know, it's not like that. Like, you know, if something needs to be cleaned, it's whoever is available or whoever can do it. We more so, like I said, outside of like the income and the childcare, those are pretty defined and solid, like primarily. But outside of that, it's more so who can do it better and who's available and what makes more sense right now.
I think that's more reflective of the millennial marriage right now. That's just my opinion. Demia and Chris, how did you all come about who's doing what in your household?
Yeah, pretty much what Jessica, like what she stated, whoever is the best at what that thing is, whether it's cooking, cleaning, washing dishes, you know, something that I don't really enjoy doing, just throwing it out there. So, you know, obviously like Chris would be the one to do, you know, to actually wash the dishes, or he's the better cook. So it just makes sense like for him to actually do that. And then, you know, just to be able to help each other out, you know, not just because he is the better cook, doesn't necessarily mean that I can't, you know, I can't do my own little thing for the family, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is for our household too.
What's going on in their house?
When she say cook, I ain't out here preparing, you know, Thanksgiving dinners.
Chef,
oh, we see you. We see you.
So
You ain't gotta downplay it.
Yeah.
No.
You make from scratch pancakes and all that.
Hibachi steak and all that.
Yeah.
Recipe book, bro.
Liz, she like what she
Literally,
like.
that's that one of the first memories I have of you is at Demia's apartment cooking tacos. I mean, that's the first memory.
You know, I'm from Flint, man. That's a staple. But
yeah, tacos.
Yeah, man. So I grew up like my grandfather was a cook in the army in the service, and like that's just what he came home doing. So like always seeing him cooking and all that stuff. He worked in the factory, you know what I'm saying? But I just always seen him cooking. So I kind of took them kind of skills too. But outside of that, you know, I'm trying to teach her how to, you know, bust down these rotors and do all that. You know what I mean? Like
You learn how to change brakes to me.
If I ain't here, you know what I mean?
That is true.
You got all the equipment. You ain't got to call nobody. Just get out here and do it.
And that could be really challenging because I just usually call Chris.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, you know, it's just stuff like that. That you know, I don't think we ever really talked about like who was gonna do what. We've tried doing like a chore chart, those kinds of things. You know, different stuff like that. That makes it a little distribute those kinds of roles across. So it's just different stuff like that to kind of consider.
What's going on in our house?
We're still figuring it out.
That's the honest.
I mean, yeah, like I said, man, I had to come to the realization that, like I said, I talked to my grandfather is very influential in my life. And he was like, yo, you provide, you protect. Like, that's your role for your family. That's your role for your mama. That's your role for your sisters. Even though that they have husbands and stuff like that. Like, my granddaddy is still like the number one go-to guy. And like, my auntie's married, like, everybody's married, but it's still, all right, I'm going to Granddaddy Buford. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when my other granddaddy was alive, it was the same thing. So I was seeing it on both sides. And I think that's kind of how, like, all right, yeah, I'm going to take care of X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do everything outside. I'm going to take care of the cars. Like, everything that doesn't include the house, because that's pretty much what I saw. But now, it's different. You got different people, and that time my grandma, she told me before, like, yeah, I was pissed about it, but at the same time, like we had the conversation of, all right, if you don't want to work, I need to really work and hustle. So
I still work. All right,
yeah, but she still works. So that's why it's a whole communication thing. Because I'm like, if you don't want to work, I can make it happen to where we don't lose a step. Mm-hmm. But you also have to realize that I'm gonna be gone.
Right. We had that conversation too. And
like, I think gone.
I think to add on to that as well, it's so different for our generation, y'all, than it was for like past generations because of the value of money. Like, they were able to work. Some of them were able to work 40 hours, you know what I'm saying? Regular hours, still come to the crib and make bank. Still come to the crib, still be able to have 12 kids, you know what I'm saying, and provide for all 12 of them. We can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that no more. The value of money is not the same, and things have changed. So now we got to figure out ways to kind of like, supplement the income, and whether it's the man working more or your wife chiming in and working some too. And that's just what it is these days, man.
Yeah, because I stay home. Like, I am a stay-at-home mom. But I do make money, but it's only when I don't have to be with my kids. So I don't balance both, but I don't not make any money, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's super, super part-time. But I think that the other thing is with our generation, like how you were saying, David, your grandmother, she said, she wasn't, happy about it, but, things had to happen. I think that with our generation, we are, as women and as men too, but as women, we are more vocal. So we are more comfortable with being like, I'm not happy and I'm going to let you know that I'm not, like, this ain't working. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that just didn't happen. Not really sure which one is better because like back in the day, they may not have been happy, but they, got everything done and it was all good. Now today it's like, I'm not happy. So I got choices. Yeah, I'm still questioning which one is better, but I do like having an opinion. I will say that, like, if it was my personal, just like how I like to be, I like being able to be able to have my opinion and that be valued and listened to and taken into consideration.
I think that's better, if you ask me. I think it's better that
you're genuinely happy.
Yeah, like, if you're not happy, then why, what we doing here?
Because I think if you're unhappy, the whole situation is misery anyway for everybody. And that's developing that childhood trauma, which is not making your family functional. So for us, like you said, we're in the process of still determining what those gender roles are. But I think he had to understand, I'm not just at home. I'm at home and I work and I still manage our girls. You're going, at least you get to work by yourself. I'm working with a baby on my lap. I'm getting it done, but it's not realistic, So if you can,
work with babies.
Come and give a sister a breather, I would appreciate it.
I feel like I work with babies. No, and that's the other thing too. Like, my schedule is crazy. Like, I work from 10 to 8. So like, I would like to cook. I was cooking before I had this schedule. That's how she know how my season tastes on my chicken and my steak and the rest of.
I'm gonna let him have this.
Yeah, okay. But me wait until I get off at 8 o'clock. I probably won't get here because I don't get off at 8 every day.
Right.
But wait until I get home to cook. They'll be starving if I do a late day, or if I say, "Hey, I'm gonna cook today," but I still got a client at 7:45.
I got an idea. It just came to me. You can cook before you go to work if you want to cook.
Meal prep.
I mean, you can cook at 6 a.m. and we can heat it up. Voila. Put it in the crock pot. Let's thing for what I have to do. Yeah, you can
put it in the crock pot.
I can't even argue with that one.
You can have meal prep.
You can do that too. That's one less thing that I have to do.
Can't even.
I would appreciate that. I would value that. All right, I think we're gonna end up on this question. Having children, has it shifted the dynamic of your relationship?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Look at
Like in what way?
Look at this.
He ain't supposed to be in here.
But he ain't even at home right now.
Okay, so I guess how did you adjust to that? Because that's a lot of young marriages' problem. Like we got married and it was this way, and then we had a baby, and that baby messed up.
Yeah, I did have it easy because she already had the knowledge behind how to take care of a child. So for me, the transition was a little smoother than it would be for people who don't have that.
And we literally went into have a baby. I'm with the baby. Like
Right.
It wasn't like, do we do daycare?
Right.
Do you work?
Yeah.
Do you like? What are we gonna do?
Right.
So it was like I came in as like the baby expert, and I was like, okay, here's the plan.
Right.
Here's what we're gonna do.
It's like
do.
yeah.
But as far as our relationship, I think that when it came to caring for the kids and like where the child was going to be and all that, that was seamless. But when it came to our relationship, I think that's where it kind of was like we were figuring it out because like you said, like you would be at work and you like, my kid is taken care of, so I'm going to go to the bar. And it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You know, I need help. I'm here, but I'm here all day. I'm tired. And I think that just created a lot of arguments.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So yeah, and it was like before we had kids, I feel like we really didn't argue at all, and then we just started arguing about
stuff.
Like yeah.
And then also when it comes to the kids and date nights.
Yeah.
That's
gotta,
like we honestly we just now getting around to like really going on dates, y'all. Like we got a babysitter.
We went before with my mom.
Yeah, but like
it wasn't
that could be hit or miss
often.
because you never know what she got going on, you know, with her schedule or whatnot. But we recently got a babysitter, within the last month and a half, and we had a couple dates, man, and it was just it was amazing. To get out the crib and go do something and not have to worry about the kids.
Yeah,
you know, just check in every once in a while and see if they're doing okay. But that was nice, man. And I
think this is a little TMI, and I don't know if you asked for this.
What you about to say?
But as far as intimacy, we had to start scheduling it for real.
Yes. I be trying to pop off.
Okay.
Hey, I feel you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like just when the opportunity presents.
Yeah.
Are we in the kitchen? Okay.
Right. Hey, what comments say?
No, not next to the carrots. And I'm
Carrots, man.
You know, sometimes you gotta pull them to the side real quick. You know.
No, but sometimes it did
transparency
place. Sometimes it had to be scheduled. Like, you know, if it's days in advance or like, okay, it's the morning, but you know, tonight, you know, is tonight gonna like when before you didn't have to do that, you know, you didn't
Yeah.
you didn't have to do that before. And like I think that us both being comfortable with that being a thing, like now we got kids, sometimes you just gotta schedule it, is what makes us continue that intimacy instead of being like, I'm tired. You know, go somewhere. You know what I've been doing all day?
I ain't trying to hear
like,
that.
when we made a plan, it's just like having a date. So
you be in your mind like I'm gonna get some cutting.
Hopefully I don't fall asleep.
I'm gonna just start penciling it in on the
Look,
calendar.
don't fall asleep.
I don't
Right.
remember that being.
Don't do something.
Hey, listen.
No, all day you'll be
Probably
like,
be the fastest.
so you're
I
not gonna
clean
go to
up. I
sleep,
get the
right?
kids in the tub.
9:30 come around.
Chris, like on his schedule day, he clean up, he get the kids to bed.
Right. 8 o'clock bedtime.
Yeah. I walk in the house. We watching TV. No, it's time to shower. Time to shower. Let's go.
But it's so funny because before we had the second baby, I read that somewhere that parents schedule it. And I was like, that's crazy. But then we had child number 2, and I was like, I get why they schedule it. This is just too much. This is too much.
Yeah,
So,
don't be no co-sleeping parents. Kick a kid out in a minute.
Man.
Get out of here.
Man.
Get out of here.
So, Chris and Demia, how has having children, or if it has, in what ways were you impacted by having, like, your relationship?
Yeah, it was an adjustment period for sure. When we had 2, it was a little easier. And we got 3. It's a little bit more difficult because we outnumbered. But I mean, just having and then kind of like so we haven't gotten like a regular babysitter or anything like that. We usually just kind of rely on like grandparents and other family members sometimes just to get out for like a couple hours. You know what I mean? Nothing serious, but when it comes to like vacation, like we still try to vacation and stuff like with the kids, and then like with just me and her, and then just trying to figure out a schedule and what I'm saying, again, just do some stuff with the kids on these couple days, and then do some stuff together by ourselves on some other days. So it can get challenging, but again, just trying to schedule those things out. I don't know what you would add to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you stated, very, very challenging. One thing for sure I would say from the pandemic, it has really helped me to understand the concept of if dad bear and mama bear is not good, then the family is not good. So that really, we're trying to get better at that.
Molly,
to actually try to
don't do it.
to actually schedule, date nights and things like that, and then try to actually, utilize the help, family, and things like that to be able to watch the children so that we can schedule that time out, because it's so important. I just always told myself that if I'm not good, I can't be good for him. I can't be good to our children. So it is very, very important that we get better at making sure we schedule date nights. And, even though we have 3 kids, we gonna have to figure it out. We just have to figure it out no matter what, because they're not going anywhere.
Can't get rid of them.
Can't get rid of them.
Right.
Don't have a return package.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to return my kids. So
just adding comment.
For us, child number 1, I think, was pretty simple. Child number 2 has definitely rocked our world. More so for me, not even just the sexual part. I think it's child number 2 and then our schedules. We don't get to finish conversations sometimes, y'all, just because how life goes fast over here. Man. So date nights are really intricate in us because we need to finish conversations. Like, so for my birthday, he wanted to plan this big extravagant situation. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. I need to sit down and talk to you. Like, if you want to plan something, plan a date so that we can just talk, because there's so much, like right now, I really need to ask you about Christmas. I need to ask you about family photos. I need to ask you about what outfits you're wearing in these family photos. But we haven't had the time because even if we're in a text conversation, something comes up with the girls like, I need you to go do this. I need you to go do that. But our schedule is crazy. But like Demia said, and he just mentioned it really, he said it like yesterday. The kids aren't going anywhere. We still got to figure us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because like they say, you don't want to be so focused on your kids that when they're gone, you're like, ooh, who are you? Like,
yeah.
That's exactly what I said the other day. I was like, some of these marriages last so long
because they're holding on for the kids.
For the kids, like it was somebody famous that just got divorced, and they was like, "Well, now we're getting a divorce because the last kid is out the house." Like
that sounds miserable.
But they was together. They had been together for, I think they was together for 25 years because the kid finally got his own house after he came back from college. So those extra years that he was home after college made them get to like 25 years of marriage.
Wow.
But as soon as he got a house and he was the last person out, they was like, yeah, we done. We going separate ways.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean that ain't funny, but it's
crazy.
It is crazy. Right. It is crazy.
So moral of the story, even though you have kids, it's important still to maintain and maintenance your relationship with those date nights, scheduled intimacy per Jessica. Put it on the calendar, baby.
And randomly pop off whenever you get an opportunity to.
F them carrots. What the carrots?
F them kids.
I don't even like carrots.
That's today's takeaway. Fuck them carrots.
Fuck them carrots.
So it's date night. What has been your favorite date with your spouse?
You want to go?
Well, I think that recently we've had our favorite dates. Like, and it may be because that's what we can remember, like most recent. But we went skating, which Ahmad is not even a good skater, but it was still fun.
It was hilarious.
And then we also we went like bar hopping. Like who are we?
Mom and Dad.
We went bar hopping. We got a hookah. I don't even do hookahs. But we went to like 2 or 3 bars. We got a hookah. We stayed out till like 1 a.m.
Right.
It was just
felt
a
wrong.
good.
It felt good.
So right. He had to convince me to get the hookah.
Right.
I was like, no, let's just go home. He was like,
baby,
come on, peer pressure. He was like, peer pressure.
Stimulate your mind, Jessica.
No, that was really fun though.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
It felt like we didn't have kids.
Right. Yeah. And that's since we had the babysitter. And that's what I was saying, like, about like just having that relief, man. And you know, like she said before, like her mom has come. But it was just a different feeling when we had a babysitter and we knew, like, look, man, let's just go and be free tonight. And it just is what it is.
Maybe it just put us in the mindset.
Maybe, because I mean, we could have done that with her mom too, but I don't know. It was just different.
It's better though when I've learned when you pay someone for this set time, this set schedule. Rather, no offense, mama, your mom has something to say.
Like,
you left these kids here. You ain't come back on time.
Hey, see, I always leave a little 20 on the counter. Just right.
We love you.
That's my favorite babysitter. But
We love you. She gotta calm down.
they were like, don't you mess yourself up.
That's our favorite babysitter. I was just trying to let them know it's a difference.
No, I hear you though.
Bro, I'm on the podcast. You gotta slow your roll.
All right, to me and Chris, what is your favorite?
So you
can go ahead and say yours because we don't know if it's the same or what.
So like more recently, I think my favorite one was we went to Dave Chappelle concert or comedy show, and it was just kind of cool. We went down early, like normally.
We're always late.
Normally we like missing. We didn't miss show, like we didn't pay for shows and missed them boys because these freaking kids that we got, and so like we just went down early and was just able to enjoy each other. We rode the little scooters and stuff like that, probably a little bit more. But, went to a couple bars and stuff, and then went and enjoyed the show. So like it was fun to just get out and be chill. And was this like a weekday? This was like a weekday too.
Yeah, it was a weekday. Like kids had to be in the bed go to school.
Yeah. So, but it was all good though. It was fun. That was more recent though. And then at other time, I got her to smoke a cigar. So
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that's crazy because that was a fun night. I actually thought I was not going to enjoy the Dave Chappelle
She
show.
talking about she don't like the Chappelle, so I'm like, you crazy.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But
That's
no,
my
I mean
friend.
that was the best. That was the best night ever. It was just like Jessica said, you feel like we didn't feel like we had no kids. Like we got home at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was late.
It was really late, but it was,
my mom's and
yes,
dad,
Mom,
May
and my dad.
Big
Yes,
Dad.
I mean, yeah, thank you so much. But we had so much fun, and that I was gonna say that was my favorite too. That was my favorite. What's the Dave Chappelle show? It made me cry.
What about y'all?
We had a couple recently. We had the concert.
That was fun.
Did the concert, like everybody saying.
But what was your favorite date?
I don't know. We've been having a lot of good ones lately.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah, we've been having a couple good ones lately. One of them was, like y'all said, she actually stayed out with me. Because I'm one of those guys that's like, hey, all right, I know 5-6 things that's going on. I'm gonna try to hit 5-6 things.
Right.
Man, like even if it's an hour a piece or 30 minutes a piece, like I'm gonna try to hit all those things. And I think that was one of the nights. Yeah, she hung out all night. She was just like, no, I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna keep going. I think one of the best nights though was the skate night was fun. The one we just had with Ant and them. We actually linked up with Kristian and me. That was a fun night.
Nobody has a favorite. Everybody got a list.
Yeah, like we.
Well, you know what that says? We're having a great old time.
We have a great time. Yeah, like.
Oh, no, these are. But I asked you all because I wanted to put date night ideas out there for people to enjoy one another.
Yeah.
So I guess
got a question. Can
I will say, go, Chris.
What's your question?
So like, being married, how y'all making friends, like couple friends? Y'all just ask somebody like, hey, y'all look like you. I mean, y'all kind of sound like a swinger and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how you make friends with couples and stuff?
I mean, you guys.
I really don't know.
Yeah, we gotta get together more. That's what I think.
How do you I don't think we really made any new friends, but being like that, you all are in frats or like your coworkers and stuff like that. Just like, can we go hang out here together? You know?
Yeah.
I don't really like. I mean, I think that we've done that on like a social scale, but not like we become friends and we're just like, oh, we're going here, join, like not like that. I don't know how you make. I mean, I guess I will say this is my personal opinion, but like, just like I have my core group of friends, like I don't go out meeting other friends. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have acquired many different people in my life, but I wouldn't consider them like my, becoming my good friends. Some have, like, just if they see, like, we good friends. But like my core, my strong, my group, my girls, like, this is it. And I feel like that's how it is with just couples. Like, I haven't really gotten that close where it's just like a random thing where it's like I'm going through this, or let's just hang out, or they're more surface level. And I have my deep connections, and that's just here. So I don't even know how you start that because we've been friends for so long. I don't even know where to start.
So as a married man, are you looking to have more married conversations with married men, or are you just looking for people to hang out with? Because it's easy to hang out with people.
Nah, you seen the movie like Why Did I Get Married? They did a little couples trip and all that.
Well, you gotta roll with that. We right
here. You gotta go on couples trip.
You got what you got.
Where we going?
All right, let's set it up.
Right.
I don't know yet, but let's set it up.
I think for us. Yeah, I think with us, or me personally, like our schedule's so crazy right now. It's like, yo, we can put it out there, but at the same time, I'm not waiting on nobody. Like if we got it tonight,
it's hard to get people on one accord or one schedule.
Like, let's go. Yeah,
I have a question for the guys. So I know that women, we like when it comes to like marriage and parenting and all of that, like we are open about it and we like talk about it and we kind of troubleshoot like with those that are like-minded and can give some good advice, you know, not just any old advice. Do men do that? Like, do y'all talk to each other to like, hey, you know, parenting, marriage, like this going on? What you doing? How you?
I do.
You do?
You probably done heard a couple of my conversations. Like there's a couple guys on my team to where we like all in this, you know, we all in the same boat, you know, married with a couple kids and, you know, going through similar situations. Might have experienced something that one person is experiencing right now. So yeah, we do talk about those things, and we you know, we bounce ideas off one another, and it's been very helpful for me. And it's like it's almost very therapeutic too. Because you don't even know like other people are going through the same stuff that you are. So just to hear somebody else tell you like, hey bro, man, I went through that a couple years ago. Like this is how I dealt with it. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all probably, you know, as women, I'm sure y'all go through the same things.
And I know a couple times, I know Chris, when I actually text her that, like, yo, no, we really having a therapeutic conversation.
Yeah.
Like my frat, you know, some of my frat brothers or whatever, like I hang out with older guys by nature. Like I don't really hang around guys my age, put it that way. Even, you know, even Chris. And it guys that's married, that's been divorced, and you know, I done got some of the best advice from the guys that's been divorced because they like, you know, I would have, you know, don't do that. You know, like don't do that, bro. Like y'all need to go sit. Like actually one of the best books we got is from a guy that got divorced, and he was like, listen, I read this book after I got divorced. So his wedding gift to all his friends is this book, right?
What's the book called, man?
It's his
what her needs, his needs, or something like that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But you know, he's one of the guys that I know I can call and he won't feed me no BS. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna be like, nah, bro. Yeah, I went through. I was married, and I wish, you know what I'm saying, I wish I would have handled it differently. You know, stuff like that. So I definitely reach out to people that's married. I'm not calling somebody that not married, ain't never been there, ain't even close to being there. I'm not calling to talk to none of y'all about that. I really don't like calling. It just happens to come up if we sitting there smoking a cigar, and another married person might be like, "Yeah, dog, I'm going through X, Y, and Z," because I'm not the first person to bring it up. So I just sit back and listen. Like, oh yeah, like okay.
Like this is normal.
Yeah, like all right. Without me saying something, it came out because I'm over here smoking a cigar.
Because you going through it.
Because I'm going through it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it comes up for me at different spots. You know, barbershop. You know, my barber or whatever, and or some other guys that might be in there. Most of it is just comedy, but it might be a few jewels in there. But after that, you know, just being able to connect with some of my other friends about, you know, just being a father or marriage and challenges that come along with that too. Like it's really it's been really helpful. You know what I mean? Especially over the last, you know, like 18 plus months or whatever through the pandemic. So. It happens, and I think should be more widespread. But yeah, it's definitely helpful though.
All right. Tanisha put in the comments, before I was married, I still gave meaningful advice, and it triggered my thinking because I get some of my best advice, y'all, in a weird way from my single friends. And I think this is just because they're good friends who believe in what we have, you know? So we're not saying that you have to just have married friends that's going to speak into your marriage, but sometimes you want to know that they feeling the same way you feel it. Because I gotta admit, I called Jessica this week. Like, I just need somebody who understands me. Like, I just need to hear that. But with that being said, I want to thank you, Jessica and Ahmad and Demia and Chris, for spending this good old hour and a half sharing your experience and your story. And hopefully our transparency this evening blesses someone else. Before we log out, I definitely want you all to talk about your endeavors and let people know where to find you and follow you if they want to connect a little bit more. We'll start with Jessica and Ahmad.
Well, I mean, we're pretty open and we're all over the internet. You can find us anywhere at Jessica and Ahmad, right. YouTube and Instagram.
We're both on Facebook and Instagram. Chris Collins,
Mama Mia Collins.
Mama Mia, and also, we do have a podcast too. Well, not me and her, but me and a few of my guy friends. We have a podcast too, Patriarch Podcast, where we discuss some of these same topics, but from the male perspective, and sometimes we do also have on different guests too. So. It's real fun. Patriarch Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Lawrence Flint, Instagram.
Bro, you gotta get me and David on the podcast, bro.
Man, we doing it. She made a comment on Facebook or something like that about.
I was gonna bring that up. You want me to read it?
Oh yeah.
I was trying not to read it.
That's our next topic. We gotta get y'all on there, man.
We can go for a whole nother hour. I'm gonna read the post and then close it. I'm not gonna let y'all comment. Don't nobody say nothing. I'm gonna read it, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Don't read it.
Don't read it. Okay, I ain't gonna read it. I'll save it for Chris' podcast then, just to show them later, because you know what it is. I gotta read it for the listeners. I wanted to bring it up, but I'm like, we would go for long. Fathers are privileged and mothers are
he heard that one.
But that's the conversation y'all ain't ready for. All right, husband, tell them where to find you and what you got going on.
Number one, you can find me on Instagram at Dave_AWS. That is for all your real estate needs. If you need to sell your house, if you want to remodel it, renovations, anything in that nature. You can also follow me on College Grad Day. I sell cars as well. So you can call me 586-446-6441.
Quick plug.
I sell all 1 to 3 year old vehicles. So, anything you need from cars to houses, tap in with me. Facebook, I'm just David Alexander Jr., aka Kristian's husband. So that's but yeah, that's where you can find me.
It's a good feeling to be Kristian's husband, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Life Coach Kristian on Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in and being in the comments with us this evening. Mama, I'm going to call you and explain myself in a minute. You one of the best babysitters. But there is a difference, okay? There is a difference. Other than that, you all have a great night. I'll be back next Sunday. I don't know who I'm bringing with me, but the conversation will be transparent. It will be good. And hopefully it will impact your life. Thank you all, friends. Friends, don't log out. Stick there for a minute. We got to play. Go ahead, Rodney.
Hi, I'm Blaine, host of Live with Blaine J, a podcast that airs right here on Realish Radio. Every week, I connect you to all the people, brands, and businesses you need to know about. I'm gearing up for season 2, and I can't wait to talk to you. So keep your notifications locked right here to Realish Radio.